This family is well known and well loved by this community. And this is insane, but we got over 24,000 people that signed a petition asking us to help out the Westbrooks.
You cannot know Peggy for 30 seconds without falling in love with this lady. She has such a tremendous load on her shoulders, and she never complains. She just says, I'll get it done. Whatever it takes, I'll get it done.
Hi, NBC. We're the Westbrook family from Lawton, Oklahoma.
I'm Katie.
I'm Peggy. I'm Liz.
I'm James. And this is our dad.
10 years ago, Gene Westbrook enlisted in the U.S. Army, and he came up through the ranks, eventually became a drill sergeant. And like many others, he was deployed to Iraq.
Well, he wanted to go there. He went out on patrols. He did a lot of things that he didn't have to do while he was over there. He was just the kind of drill sergeant that you want on your team.
Then in 2004, he was eating in a mess tent, and a bomb went off.
Sergeant Westbrook was injured when he took shrapnel during a mortar attack. The shrapnel punctured one of his lungs and severed his spinal cord. He's now in a wheelchair.
I actually flew out to go to Walter Reed Hospital to visit him. I really almost fainted because his body was so swollen that if somebody had not told me that was him, I would not have recognized him. I was just devastated.
A hero's welcome today for a Fort Sill soldier. A motorcade led Staff Sergeant Gene Westbrook through Lawton back home. Friends and supporters with flags and signs lined Gore 67th Street showing their support.
So Gene was awarded the Purple Heart for his sacrifice. And he no longer had the physical freedom he once had, so his family was really there for him to try and adjust to life in a wheelchair.
I just have a great family that's been behind me the whole time. And I want to get better to where I can go back on post and teach soldiers how to overcome obstacles.
And then tragedy struck again. Gene, Peggy, and their two youngest kids, Katie and James, were driving to a picnic when their van veered off the road and overturned.
We lost a wheel somehow, and the vehicle went tumbling.
I just remember going through the windshield and blood was coming down through my mouth, and I started yelling for you. And it was, I just really thought I was gonna die.
Katie was hanging in her seatbelt. James was unconscious. I could hear the jaws of life ripping into our van, and that is like one of the scariest sounds I think you can hear. So I was kind of thankful that, that you could hear that helicopter because it drowned out the noise.
Peggy somehow survived with minor injuries, but the rest of the family wasn't so lucky. Gene suffered major head injuries. Katie lost one of her kidneys, and then little James slipped out of his safety belt and was tossed around the van and ended up being paralyzed from the waist down and now in a wheelchair, just like his dad.
It was tough to know that I was driving and was part of that wreck. I still feel sad that he's not gonna do the things that I did when I was in school. Run around, chase balls. He's not gonna be able to do any of that stuff.
We came so close to losing them that day. You know, I'd give anything if he could walk. I'd give anything if Gene could walk. But we still have him.
This young, active family all of a sudden has two members of it in wheelchairs, living in a house now that has become a major problem. These guys can't even get to some of the rooms they need to get to. They need to make major changes, but they don't have the money to do that. Gene's on a military salary, and that just doesn't cut it.
Since my dad's come home, you can see he's been broken in his eyes. You just can see it, that he's not himself.
This family is well known and well loved by this community. And this is insane, but we got over 24,000 people that signed a petition asking us to help out the Westbrooks.
I'm Janet Brady, and I am the founder and president of Adopt a Soldier Now. And you cannot know Peggy for 30 seconds without falling in love with this lady. She has such a tremendous load on her shoulders, and she never complains. She just says, I'll get it done. Whatever it takes, I'll get it done.
You know, it's hard to understand why we've gone through all this, but there will be good out of it. We'll make it, you know.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So guys, because so many people asked us to help them, I think some of those people should help us surprise the family. So what do you say? Can we do this?
Absolutely.
All right, well, bring it in here, people. Let's make it happen. Are you with me?
With you.
Well, then let's do it! Woo! The whole town of Lawton is absolutely passionate about helping this family. We're talking about a guy in the last 18 months, came back from Iraq in a wheelchair. Next thing you know, a serious car wreck with his family where he flies through the windshield, has head injuries. His young girl is in the hospital, has to have a kidney removed. His young boy is now paralyzed from the waist down just like he is. These guys need help, and we're here to help them. Here we go. Good morning, Westbrook family! Gene, Peggy, Katie, Liz, and James, wake up and come on out here! Good morning! Hi there. How you doing?
I've never met a more giving, loving family in my entire life. And to know that this tragedy has happened to them and to see everyone coming together to help, it's just awesome.
I know it's been tough. I don't know how you've been handling it all, man. I can't believe that, you know, you guys are both in a wheelchair.
It's been tough. Mentally, it's been tough because of the accident.
It's been extremely hard on him. Extremely hard.
Servicemen every day are injured, wounded, or killed, and it's a hard community. It's a hard life. You can see how everyone has watched this suffering. And then there's James. And that, if that doesn't touch you. And so we've got a lot of people that are, well, they're gung-ho, and it's gonna be a good week.
Thank you, Lawton! Thank you, Fort Sill! Thank you, U.S. Army! Let's bring 'em
For the people in Lawton to sacrifice their time to help us with our house is remarkable. It makes us all feel very special.
James, Gene, you guys were living in a house that wasn't exactly working for you guys. Well, I promise you this. The house behind this bus is gonna work for you guys, and there's something for everybody in that house. Are y'all ready to see it?
We're ready to see the house.
Are you positive?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, you guys know what to say, so say it with me. You ready? Bus driver, move that bus!
This is something that we never thought we would have. You know, we were happy to have the first house. It just didn't fit us anymore with Gene's disability and now James's disability. It is a beautiful, gorgeous house, and it's so much more than we could have ever dreamed of.